You're going to need tools to successfully remember quicker. Your tools will give you leverage. It's a lot like lifting a heavy stone. Just trying to lift it straight up with your hands, you may find it difficult or even impossible because it's so heavy and big. But if you put a lever under the rock, you can use this lever to lift it up with much less effort. Abraham Lincoln said that if he had to cut down a tree in an hour, he would spend the first 30 minutes or so sharpening his axe. Good tools make all the difference. The first necessary tool for successful reciting with speed is a laptop or desktop computer. Now, I don't recommend a mobile phone, even though a phone has many nice features, but a phone lacks the screen space you need to analyze your progress. In your timing record, there will be numbers everywhere, and these will be more effectively viewed on a larger screen. A good part of this tool is that it doesn't have to be the latest and greatest computer. You are only going to need simple software, and we can talk about that next. In my reciting for speed, I use MS Excel, Microsoft Excel. If you have a different spreadsheet application, it should work just as well. The important thing is the ability of the spreadsheet to format the cells either as text or numbers, and more importantly, times. It will also need the function to sum columns of numbers. In other words, just making a table on a text editor won't suffice. Some calculation formulas will be in the grid to help you recognize your progress. Along with your spreadsheet, you will need a timer. Now, this can be a timer on your mobile phone, or you can download an application to install it on your computer. I've used both, and for me, the application on my computer works better because everything is right in front of me, and I don't have to go looking for my phone every time I recite at the computer. I also strongly suggest MS Word for your recited text. It's a powerful application that you can use to your advantage. I like it to highlight word and letter patterns noticed in the text passage. I occasionally make notes on the side or in line with the text. In addition, I mark errors when reciting, and the best approaches to all these things I will teach you in another lesson. Where your computer is placed is another important consideration. It needs to be in a readily accessible area whenever you are prepared to recite. For example, instead of being in the same room where somebody else may be sleeping, how about putting it in a more private place? This will not only prevent disturbing somebody unnecessarily, but will also give you the solitude you need to perform at your best and focus at your best. And keep the area uncluttered. I've learned that the more things I have to look at when I'm reciting, the more I tend to be distracted. And you want focus and traction, not distraction. Finally, give some serious consideration to the time of day that you devote to recitation. While I respect that you may have a wild schedule like I sometimes have, you really need to establish a specific part of the day in which you will always recite. This practice obviates anything from crowding in to trump your plan and to rip your goals away from you. My preferred time of the day is immediately after I awake. I go straight to the computer, sit down, find the application and packages, and start reciting. There's not a single thought that gets between me and the first sentence of the passage. It's the freshest thing in my mind for the new day. So there you have the tools you need to get started with reciting passages with speed and finesse. These tips I have learned from over a decade of memorizing long passages, and I'm convinced that they will help you do your best. Another important thing that you will need to know is the layout of the timesheet, again, which is developed on an MSL spreadsheet. This is your most valuable tool to leverage your skill in reciting passages which you have memorized, and you can learn about the structure of it in our next step.